Hello and welcome to Respect the Poll. It's your boy K. Back again with these previews, man. One Group F, Japan. As always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, share this video, share. If you enjoyed, of course, and you want to refer me to your friends and you help the channel grow, of course. Yeah, guys, let's get it. Yeah, guys, we are on Japan. The Japanese. I wanna start off with the lineups. I wanna get you guys in and out of here quick. As I'm recording this, they're about to play the Dutch. So I am behind on schedule. Please excuse the background noise; it can't be helped where I am. So, yeah, guys, let's start. I wanna start by dissecting the lineups. If you look at this lineup on here, I think you'd kind of understand why they're doing so well. The Dutch did so well. I don't know why they didn't win the Asian Cup. I don't know how they fumbled that. That was very surprising. But this manager again seems to have some bozo moments. I think he's done well with the Japanese. I'm not saying he is a bozo. As in he's a bad manager. I think he just has some bozo moments where I'm skeptical of him. But in essence, with this lineup, you have Zion Suzuki. I think he's still playing for Parma. Watched a bit of him when Man United were linked for him because my team was linked to him, and I saw a bit of clips of him. He's solid. I haven't seen him play for Japan. I haven't watched a whole lot of Japan. I saw them against England, but I haven't watched a whole lot of Japan. Oh, I also saw them in the Asian Cup. One match. But I was at the cup or the qualifiers. I don't watch a lot of Japan. I know that they're good. They do perform well against European sides if you gather the data and all that. The three at the back. You know, you'd understand because they're playing three at the back. Maybe it becomes a five that they're going to be compact. Against England, they were very compact. But if you look at that on paper, and this is from the data I've gathered, I'm not sure he'll start with this. Japan doing these previews was also pretty hard. As like a certain starting 11. I don't think he has that yet. I think he's gonna go for Ko Itakura. Last I heard of him, he was playing for Gladbach. I think he moved. Oh, he's playing for Ajax now. Sorry for that. He's playing for Ajax now. I remember now because I watched an Eredivisie match. He's playing for Ajax. Maya Yoshida. I don't know why in 2026 he's still calling up Maya Yoshida. I think he's been an average defender all his life, and now that he's like 60, he's probably bad. And I was surprised he was even called up when I was gathering my data. Then you have Takehiro Tomiyasu, doesn't play for Arsenal anymore. I don't know what he plays for. Was never that good. So again, when I said, you can understand why they played well against European, because they said compact, so these players can't get exposed. But man, it doesn't look good on this team sheet. I don't know how Japan is doing this. We go into the forward midfield. We have Nakamura, who I don't think will start either. This was hard, guys. I don't think that both of the wingbacks will start at wingback, but I do think Rizzo Dohan will start. But it depends. Will he start here or out? Up front, I rate him a lot. One of the few players in Japan I rate. I'll get to the one of absolutely my favorite young players. But then obviously in the midfield you have one of my other favorite midfielders, Daichi Kamada. Look at what he's done for Crystal Palace, won them a European Cup. Will be essential for the Japanese. I think he will start in the midfield because I think Wataru Endo dropped out of injury, so they have to start Daichi. I thought maybe they'll start Daichi up, in the 3-4-2-1, but then I think he'll start here in the midfield as he does for Crystal Palace. I think he'll go for Autanaka, who plays for Leeds. I also like Autanaka. I watched a bit of Leeds in the Championship, and the Premier League, obviously. Watched him in the Man United game. He played really well, Autanaki. He looked like a world class midfielder. But then again, he was playing against Casemiro, who had no legs. So take that with a pinch of salt. Then the two, I don't know who's gonna start, but I do. I don't think he firmly trusts Kubo that much, but I think he will start Kubo. As I said, one of the best young players out there. One of my favorites. I love Takefusa Kubo. I just love him. That left foot, the silky player. He's key. I don't think coach trusts him that much. Ito, I don't know anything about him, to be frank. This is from the data I've gathered. I've never seen him play, so I will not comment that much on him. And obviously, Ueda, who I think he's playing for Feyenoord. Solid strike. He's been getting the odd goal. I do watch a bit of Eredivisie. If you're a betting man, you have to watch these games, as I said. So I do know a bit of Ueda. He is a good enough. He should notch up goals for them. He's a solid 9. I think in conclusion, actually, I want to just be in conclusion. I think Japan will make it out of this group. Again, as I said in the Dutch radio, everyone's getting past Tunisia. So it's a case of what are you doing about against the other, and we'll see against the Dutch here. But then I think they'll do well. They get out of this group. I think they'll make it far. Again, I think this manager has a lot of bozo moments because last World Cup they got through. Then what happened when they got to the next round? So we'll see with the Japanese. But I think my hopes are high for this team. Despite what I said about the lineups and just clowning it a bit, my hopes are high because the manager understands. When you have a manager that understands you and knows what the right balance is, it doesn't matter what the team sheet is, or the players. He can just get you in sync and work. And look at Tony Popovich for Australia. I had no hope for Australia. To be honest, I just saw the papers and I was like, oh, we have Irakunda. I know Irakunda, but who else do you have? But look at what they did against Turkey. So again, it's about the manager. Does he understand the players? What does he do? And I think the Japanese does understand what the Japanese are. They do frustrate European side. They hardly ever lose against them. So yeah, guys, the sky's the limit. I think they make it out of this group. Do I think they make it far? No. But we'll see, guys. As always, if you enjoyed this preview, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notification for more World Cup content. Check out our other previews on their channel. And obviously, people, peace.